In the busy city of Abuja, Nigeria, there was a school called Golden Star Academy. It was one of the best schools in the city, and many students dreamed of studying there. Among them was Maureen, a girl everyone admired. She was not only very beautiful but also one of the smartest students in her class. Maureen's hard work. Every morning, Maureen woke up early. She said her prayers, brushed her teeth, and helped her mother set the table for breakfast. After eating, she packed her school bag and revised her notes before leaving for school. At school, Maureen always paid attention in class. She asked questions when she didn't understand something and took neat notes. After school, while some students played, Maureen would go home, rest a little, then spend hours reading her books. She believed that studying hard was the best way to succeed. A friend's suggestion: one afternoon during lunch break, Maureen's classmate Linda sat beside her and said, "Maureen, you are the prettiest girl in school. Why do you study so much?" "Because I want to be the best," Maureen answered proudly. Linda giggled and leaned closer. "You don't have to work so hard. Just smile at the teachers, and they will give you good grades." Maureen frowned. "That's not right. Teachers give marks based on hard work, not beauty. Are you sure?" Linda asked. "Try it and see." That night, Maureen thought about what Linda said. What if I don't have to work so hard? What if I can get good grades just by smiling? Testing the idea, the next day, Maureen decided to try. When her English teacher handed back a test paper, she smiled sweetly and said, "Sir, I really wanted to do better." The teacher looked at her, smiled, and said, "Don't worry, Maureen. I'll add some extra marks for you." It worked. Maureen was surprised. She didn't even study for that test, but she still got a high score. After that, Maureen started using her beauty to get special treatment. Some teachers gave her extra marks, while others allowed her to skip difficult assignments. She no longer spent long hours studying. Instead, she enjoyed the attention she got, but soon, things started to change. Some teachers began calling her to their offices alone. They smiled at her in a way that made her feel uncomfortable. One teacher even told her to stay back after school to discuss her grades. Maureen felt uneasy. Something didn't feel right. Maureen's plan seemed to be working at first. Teachers who once treated all students equally now paid extra attention to her. But soon, things started to feel strange. One afternoon, Mr. Ade, the English teacher, called Maureen to his office. He was a tall, dark man with a bald head and a deep voice. He smiled at her and said, "Maureen, you are a very special student. If you ever need extra marks, just come to me." Maureen nodded, feeling a little unsure. Later that week, Mr. Bello, the mathematics teacher, also called her. He was a chubby man with round glasses. He patted her shoulder and said, "Maureen, you don't need to work too hard. Just be nice to me, and I will take care of your grades." At first, Maureen felt happy with the special treatment, but soon, it became uncomfortable. The teachers were not just helping her with grades, they wanted something in return. One day, Mr. Okonkwo, the social studies teacher, asked Maureen to wait behind after school. He was a middle-aged man with a thick mustache and always wore brown suits. "Maureen," he said in a serious voice, "you are very smart and beautiful. I can help you get the best grades, but you have to be extra nice to me." Maureen's heart started beating fast. She suddenly felt scared. "What do you mean, sir?" she asked softly. Mr. Okonkwo smiled and said, "Don't worry, just stay after school today, and we'll talk." Maureen nodded, but deep inside, she felt something was wrong. That evening, Maureen sat in her room, thinking about everything. She no longer enjoyed studying. She no longer felt proud of her good grades. Worst of all, the way the teachers treated her made her feel uncomfortable and afraid. Tears filled her eyes. She missed the days when she worked hard and felt proud of her success. Then she heard a soft knock on her door. "Maureen, are you okay?" Her mother's voice called. Maureen wiped her eyes quickly. "I'm fine, Mommy," she said, but deep inside, she knew she was not fine at all. Maureen sat quietly for a moment, then took a deep breath. She couldn't keep this secret anymore. "Mommy, I need to tell you something," she said in a shaky voice. Her mother, Mrs. Okafor, was a kind and understanding woman. She walked into the room and sat beside Maureen. "What is it, my dear?" she asked gently. Tears rolled down Maureen's cheeks as she explained everything, how Linda told her to use her beauty, how the teachers started treating her differently, and how she felt scared and ashamed. Her mother listened carefully, then held Maureen's hands. "My child, you made a mistake, but I am so proud of you for telling me the truth. Mommy, I just wanted to make things easier for myself. But now, I feel terrible. I miss studying and working hard," Maureen sobbed. Mrs. Okafor wiped Maureen's tears. "The right path is not always the easiest one, Maureen. You are smart, and you don't need to use your beauty to succeed. Hard work will always be the best way." Maureen nodded, feeling a little better. The next morning, Maureen's mother took her to school early. They met with the principal, Mrs. Hosson, a strict but fair woman with sharp eyes and a serious face. After listening to Maureen's story, Mrs. Hosson frowned. "This is very serious. No teacher should take advantage of a student." She immediately called the school board, and an investigation began. Soon, the truth came out. Several students had faced similar problems but were too afraid to speak up. The guilty teachers, including Mr. Okonkwo, Mr. Bello, and Mr. Ode, were fired from the school. From that day, Maureen promised herself she would never take shortcuts again. She returned to her hard work, studying every day after school. One afternoon, Linda came to her. "Maureen, I heard what happened. I'm sorry for giving you bad advice." Maureen smiled. "It's okay, Linda. I've learned my lesson. Hard work is always the best way to succeed." Soon, Maureen's grades improved, not because of favoritism, but because of her efforts. She felt proud again, knowing that she had earned her success the right way, and most importantly, she learned a valuable lesson: integrity and hard work will always lead to true success. Please kindly subscribe to my channel for more captivating African stories. Thank you and God bless.